Okay. You can hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Emphasis on loud.
Those words were chosen for a reason.
Yes. I mean,
Loud and clear.
you know, a lot of people don't wash their hands when they by themselves and at home.
It's very true.
I'm serious. Child.
Which is disgusting.
It is though. And the crazy thing is, I still to this day, since the pandemic. Now I will say before the pandemic, maybe I didn't wash my hands as soon as I came in. Right. But to this day, I don't care if I go and drop the garbage at the garbage chute that's right outside my door. I wash my damn hands every time I walk into the house.
Same.
And it's just it's just a force of habit. And that's why my cuticles all fucked up now, child. I got to moisturize them bitches. Oh, you know what I just had? A pate.
Pate?
That's how you say it. I was like, oh, we always call it like beef patty. And I went to a Jamaican spot out here just now. And I just wanted a beef patty. And you could tell they make their beef patties from scratch because it didn't have that. I don't know, whatever. It was still good, but you could tell it was from scratch.
You know I want to dig, bitch. That what?
It was dry.
Like
it was
the
really
beef was dry.
Yeah, like it didn't. I think those frozen ones be having a little more moisture locked into it. But
if it was dry, that means it was old.
No, it wasn't old. It wasn't old. You could because it wasn't fat either. You know, like those ones you get out the freezer and you put them in or whatever. Like they be really fat. This was really thin.
They be really what?
Fat.
It's the emphasis on fat for me. They be really fat.
At least I feel like I'm getting my money's worth, child.
Well, no one likes a dry beef patty. Shit.
It wasn't.
Not good.
It wasn't too. It was again. I just feel like, is that ground beef that they put in there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I tasted the ground beef. It wasn't like the frozen ones. They have it's like a little bit more mushier. No,
the frozen ones were mushier, or theirs were more okay.
This one it wasn't mushy. Like it wasn't. I don't know.
Maybe from it being frozen.
I say all that to say I didn't know it was called pate.
You said all of that to just say that you didn't know it was called pate.
Right. This Jamaican lady walked in was like, "Do you have any pates ready?" I was like, "A what?" Pates.
Pate.
Like, oh.
Pate.
I was telling Chef before you go ahead.
No,
Chef.
you go.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it probably was like when what people don't get is like when you do make something like homemade or like yourself, it's gonna taste different than like a store-bought preserved.
Exactly. It was still good.
It's like it's still good, but it's like you might have missed that preserved or
yes.
mechanical.
No, it was still good. Like, it just the texture was different.
Right.
You nasty motherfucker.
He farted.
What did Baxter do?
Yes.
And they farts be stink as
they do. Like deviled eggs.
Not even deviled eggs smell like that.
And he's looking up at me like, why are you talking to me like that in public?
I was telling Chef before you got on, Torrian. It was like I text my cousin, was like, why you ain't tell me, my cousin April, I was like, why you ain't tell me working for a nonprofit is so fucking ghetto? Like, no.
All my life I had to fight.
Bitch. So, I'm doing some consulting work, and one of my clients is a nonprofit out here. And I've only been working with them for 2 days, and I'm like, these motherfuckers about to have me like say, fuck you, find somebody else. Because this shit, like everything is paper. Everything. Girl, let me not even tell their business like that.
I was going to say you might have to cut that out because you don't
fine.
want.
I don't give a shit.
No. I mean, no. As a person who has worked in nonprofit for the last 11 years, 12 years of his life, ghetto.
bro. Like, and it's our
It is a
people though
struggle
too.
bus.
Like,
Yes.
I walked in, and again, you guys know I do like HR work and stuff, and everything is like nothing is digitized, or everything is just paper, right? So I'm looking like, oh, we're looking at policies and stuff, and I come across something called a gossip policy. I said,
How do you enforce that? Number one, what? Well, let me back up. What does that mean?
girl, I said, can somebody get me this policy like right now? Like, I want to see this. And so they opened up the file cabinet, got me the gossip policy. It was grammar errors and spelling errors. Okay. So, 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 so it basically says that there's no gossip permitted at work. If so, we are at will employment state. You'll be terminated. I'm like, oh, y'all waiting on a lawsuit.
I'm about to say what?
I mean, because we're gossiping right now talking about this policy. Like, no shade, no shade, like, no shade. I was
Like,
like,
if I'm talking about how I feel about my employer with a colleague or with someone that technically couldn't be seen as gossiping,
I,
yeah,
I
no. How do you enforce that?
and I
Like,
said,
you're literally gonna have nobody on your staff.
right, and I was like, I bet you a black woman made this shit up, and it was very reactional,
Of
right?
course,
That's what it sound, and sure enough, I'm like,
yeah. Something
it was
happened,
something
and
happened, and yes, and it
They
was,
was
and
trying to talk
this is
about
no
her
slight.
ass.
Yeah, it was no slight to the black women. Don't worry, but the messaging had tood in it, bitch. I was like, you could tell the writing was very like, and I'm like, y'all sent this out to 150 employees and made them sign this, and nobody contested this shit, bitch. See, this is why I can't be an employee, because y'all would hate me. I'd be like, what the fuck is this, and why am I signing it? This is very unprofessional.
I think the other thing to nonprofit credit is that when a lot of your work is based off of money that you get,
Mhm.
right, and like fundraising or grants and that sort of thing, it is a challenge with, like, there's a high turnover rate, right? Like there's a lot of stuff that exists solely because of the way it's financially set up, which is different from a for-profit or a
Yes.
corporation. It's just it's very, it comes with its own nuance. It comes with its own, there's certain things that you can do in a nonprofit that you would like never consider doing in the corporate world, right? And
Yeah.
that's a part of it, especially in the work that I do, that like having conversations about sex. I mean, in the corporate world, it's like,
It's deemed like, you like, who, bitch?
maybe
HR. Oh, HR,
HR,
somebody.
right?
Yeah.
But when you're at a nonprofit doing HIV work or doing sexual health work, it's like it's pretty hard to
Right.
do this work and not talk about sex.
Right.
Like, and
But
so there
it's,
is definitely a line in which you have to hold. Not
yeah.
to be clear about that too, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's,
different in a
it seems
nonprofit
like
world.
a lot of these nonprofits are based on relationships, though. Like,
Yeah.
which is like, I'm talking about who's hired in these nonprofits at the executive level, senior director, VP level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems like, I won't divulge all the business, but it just seemed like whoever this person was that was head of this department should have been fired years ago, but because of their relationships in the city,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it's like, you guys know that this person is like not making an impact on your company, not bringing it, not fulfilling the duties of the job, but because of who this person has a relationship with. And it's all about the donations too. Like, oh,
Yeah.
she can get in donations though.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yes.
I
But
mean,
It's a struggle.
shouldn't it be all about the donations? It's a
no,
nonprofit.
I don't give a shit actually, as long as my check clear. So I will say, Never mind. I ain't gonna say that. But I was
But I
just
think,
telling Chef I'm
yeah,
gonna cut this off too. But I was like, I've been working with them for 2 days, and they just sent me a direct deposit for $1. So I was like, oh, okay, it's worth it.
I said money motivates.
But
Money
it's
yes.
short term.
motivation.
It's short
Let
term.
me explain something to you. Okay. I say all the time, like when you're getting paid good money, it
Ooh,
makes going into
yeah,
work dealing with some bullshit a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
makes it a lot
absolutely
more
right.
tolerable.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely right.
okay, I can deal with this shit one more week because that
Yeah, I don't.
deposit was real
Yeah,
cute.
yeah. When I saw it this morning, I was like, "Oh, I got paid already for y'all just for 2 days. Okay, cool. Thank you." Um, but I will say, like, I was telling Chef too that I went to the doctor yesterday to get my B12 shot that I get weekly. They usually do my blood test, my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was like through the roof, bitch. And they was like, "Oh, it's like you okay?" And I was like, "I'm a little stressed this week," but
Yeah,
but so I don't see this long term. But I like the consulting work. I like it.
I do too. It's good. It's good. Cute little coin.
It is cute. I was like, for y'all to be a nonprofit, you know, y'all came with the bag for me. Thank you.
It's a cute little. It's a cute little coin. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
So,
I mean, but
n-
I honestly wouldn't change working for a
but
nonprofit though.
you're not considered a nonprofit right now. You work for the actual government now.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought you were okay.
No,
Maybe
it's
that's just me because I think Washington D.C. Everybody in
no,
Washington
it's
D.C. work
still
for the government, bitch.
okay. No, for real.
No, I'm
Like,
serious.
no,
Shit.
for real.
You'd be like,
That's
oh yeah,
like
you can't lie about shit. Like, oh, I can
that's
look
like
your
the
ass
to
up.
do. That's like
Mm-hmm.
the to do. It's like, oh, it's like status in DC to be
Mm-hmm.
like working for the federal government. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I'm good. I no.
I get you.
Um, no. Um, but yeah, no, technically I do work for I mean, the way that it's structured is very interesting, but I work under the foundation or the nonprofit side of the work.
Okay.
Yeah, not the for-profit side.
Yeah.
Um,
Fuck, bitch. I don't
and
get
then
it.
the other thing I would say too is that a lot of times nonprofits are made like they're started out of literally a lot of times people in their bedrooms or in their kitchens, like with this
Yeah.
idea. It's like I want to start this thing up, and so there's a lot of work that needs to happen that oftentimes gets missed because people aren't necessarily getting consultations or getting assistance with building it, starting it, growing it, and all of that. Especially nonprofits that started by people of color, particularly Black women, Black men, queer businesses, and so it's a struggle. It definitely is a struggle. Um, yeah, it's real. Yeah.
Mm. All right. Y'all ready?
Let's get it done.
You're tuned in to season 4 of Catch My Black and Gay podcast.
We're being black and gay is definitely okay.
This podcast was created to give African American gay men an outlet to express, debate, and give our opinion on today's pop culture, political, and life views.
Hey guys, you're tuned in to Catch My Black and Gay podcast, where being black and gay is definitely okay. I am your boy Jay, and I have my amazing co-host with me, Chef Vaughn,
Wagwan, wagwan.
Torrian.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Eh.
Oh, now you want me to start it off?
Yeah.
Bitch, I was ready. I had my whole little promo and
Oh, go
introduction
ahead, do the
coming in.
introduction. It makes sense to you.
No, no,
Oh,
no, no.
Do the
All right,
introduction.
so no, I'm not gonna do the introduction. It's fine. You did
why?
it. It
Do
was really good. It was really good the way you did it.
Are
I'm
you
just really
sure?
proud of you that you actually are continuing to say your name first.
That was a struggle. Fuck you. Oh, this bitch is clocking me today. It,
Bitch be jumping right in.
yes, it was a struggle before.
All
Growth.
right. Come on, growth. All right. So I thought about if I was going to bring this to the podcast or not. However, since we live the podcast through transparency and authenticity,
Mm.
I had a situation happen to me a couple weeks ago that I needed to discuss with you all.
Mm.
So I need y'all to come in a little close because
Come
I
into the
got shit to
room.
say. Okay. All right. So some months back last year, I had, met a gentleman off one of the apps, and I told y'all before when we had this conversation about apps that like if I'm on an app, particular app, you know, I'm looking for now. What are we doing? Okay.
Oh Lord.
And so connected with this gentleman, came over. Sex was amazing.
Oh.
Okay. And in fact, I think when we had a conversation about friends with benefits, I think I actually was discussing this person. Anywho, so yeah, so right, the sex has been great, is amazing. So like we friends with benefits, right? So when he, whatever, like we would hit each other up, no problem. And like every time it was hitting, right?
Mm.
Every time it was hitting. Every
Mm.
time. Never a dull moment. Exactly what I need.
Mhm.
Energy. Like it just was hitting. Great. So fast forward, homie starts catching feelings. And
Mm.
I am very much the person that's like, we set these boundaries. This is what it is. Like, I'm okay, but if you want to stop, like, I respect that. I get it. And so, like, we were like having that back and forth and, trying to figure out what we were doing. He's trying to convince me like, oh yeah, maybe we should, or why not? And, me just staying firm. And so fast forward, while this is happening, kind of simultaneously.
Mhm.
1 second. Baxter, move.
Not Baxter move.
Because he over here like trying to get my attention, and I'm like, you're distracting me. All right. So while this is happening, right, there was a gentleman that, started working at my organization and like find really attractive. They find me attractive. And we kind of were like talking, but we never like really crossed any lines or anything because we both were like, we work together. And it's not like they work in a whole different department or like in a
Right.
different part of the building. Like we work in the same department,
Oh.
we work on the same floor.
Oh.
Right. And so there's
Oh.
no separation of work, right?
Right. Like I can't just randomly bump into you. I'm bumping into you every day.
Right. Every day that we're in the office together, I am likely to see you. Or I'm likely to be in meetings with you, or like we have to like somehow work together on a consistent basis.
Right.
And so, y'all know I had this situation before where I dated somebody who I worked with. It went horribly bad.
Yes.
And so I just like, I just get real iffy in those moments, right, about that. Anyway, so we start talking or whatever. So we end up traveling for work. And they go there. Y'all know I travel for work frequently.
Right.
So I'm like in the little lobby area, minding my business, just chilling, talking to some people on my phone, taking a little break.
Right.
All of a sudden, this gentleman who I work with comes up and is like, oh. It's like, oh? He was like, we know someone, mutually.
Lord.
And I was like, what? It was like, oh, and apparently y'all dated. And I was like,
Wait.
okay. And so now I'm starting to think about, and he's like, well, who are you dating? And I was like, I'm not gonna play this game with you. Like, this is not no
Yes.
guessing game. This, 1, 2, 3. I'm not doing that. I ain't got 3 guesses. I ain't trying to get 3 guesses. Like, just tell me, if you're gonna tell me this story, then you need to
Yeah.
tell me who it is, or don't tell me at all. Either way, I'm fine.
That's so unattractive, though. Like, I would be so unattracted to the person.
Oh, pause. Put a pin in that.
Okay.
Because put a pin in that. And so, so they come and sit down, and so we're now talking, and I'm like, well, who are you talking about? The person tells me his name, and I'm like, what do they look like? And so he shows me the picture of him. And I said, oh, okay. And he's like, so y'all dated? I was like, he's like, yeah, y'all dated and all this. And I was like, oh, no, we didn't date. I wouldn't call it that. And so I am also a person that, like, I believe in people's privacy, and I believe in, like, honoring people business, and, like, maybe he doesn't want people to know that what the dynamic of our relationship is, or
He's
whatever
a whore.
have you. And so I legitimately, wow, we're not going to shame people.
It's not shaming.
Especially not good pussy. We ain't gonna shame
good pussy hoe.
So I'm like, no, I wouldn't classify that as our relationship. I said no one. He's like, oh, y'all were friends with benefits. And I was just like, I mean, whatever. And so he then, like, starts, like, I was like, but I'm confused about how did this happen. So what ended up happening, how the connection was made, was that I had to do a presentation at this conference. The person, the coworker, the colleague of mine, was in my session when I was presenting. And when I was presenting, he took a picture and posted it to his story and tagged me in it. And so that's how the other guy saw it. And so he was like, well, he doesn't know that we work together. Like, he didn't know that you work here and, like, we work together. I was like, well, we weren't dating, so he wouldn't necessarily have known that, right? Like,
way to blow up his spot, bitch. But go ahead.
For me, like, friends with benefits is like, like,
yes. I get it.
Yeah. Fuck buddies, Chef, you're on mute.
I said, we're not having too many conversations with things in your mouth.
Period.
Period.
Okay. So he then is like, oh, well, I was like, but this is weird. I was like, why is he kind of coming at you with this kind of energy? And he was like, oh, well, like, we have history. And I was like, oh, well, what kind of history? He was like, oh, we were, like, in a whole relationship for almost a year and a half when we were in college some years ago. And they're younger. So years ago is like
last year.
4 years ago. They were like 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
And so I'm like, oh, this isn't about me. His reaction has nothing to do with our dynamic. It's the fact that he and you were dating before, and now they see you with me and me in the way that we our relationship or our dynamic. And I'm like, so this has nothing to do with me. This is everything to do with y'all history and him just, like, seeing y'all history pop up in the current that has him responding that way. Because he and I don't have that. I mean, there's no real rapport in between the two of us where he should be responding this way, right? Just doesn't make sense. But I'm telling you my perspective, my experience. Because
because I'm that person too. I got a little touch of cray, and it might be that his mind is working overtime, and he's thinking of, I wonder if they fucking. I wonder if they, like.
I'm sure that that's it. But again, that's still not because of my dynamic. That's because of their dynamic, right? Because of their history.
It still is your dynamic, though.
Yeah, because we were. But then at this time, we weren't having sex. We were not having sex.
Well, he's definitely digging because of how he approached the situation in the beginning. Like he's definitely trying to dig into like get what you know and what you did and what happened from your perspective in the situation. And he could be playing it up. Like the friend could have said to him it was a booty call, but he wants to bring it back like, oh, you were dating him to see like what was going on with you. Like to
No,
dig.
he showed me the messages. He said dating.
Wow. And also, why would he even say dating, knowing? I mean, I get that. I
But I
get.
get I get why he said dating. Like this I don't need you to know what the fuck I do behind closed. There's none of your fucking business.
But you
And
don't
Like
have
again,
to
because
say
of their
dating.
history.
You could say we're friends, like, or we're
True.
but a
cool.
fuck
Like,
buddy
you
not
don't have to say
friends.
dating because that's
I
a
mean,
lie.
I see the
It's
lie,
a
but
lie.
I
It's a
see
lie.
dating. I see dating. I see you saying dating quicker than you'll say friend
Then
with a
you're a
booty
liar.
call.
You're a
Because you could
liar.
call a booty call a date. That could be your idea of a
No.
date.
Why
You
would you?
fucking is the idea of a date. I can't define what people call a date.
No.
Damn it, is a date.
that's true.
Hookers call when a hooker gets a John, they call it a date. Like so.
And I, to your point, I did say that, Chef. I
I'm
was
not
like,
shaming
well,
hookers. I'm not shaming
I
hookers.
was like, I did say that. I was like, well, you know, we all have different definitions of what dating is. So I'm not going to like. It's not no shame or like not trying to like discredit him. I'm just saying,
Mhm.
for me, we were not dating. Now he can classify that as dating. He's more than welcome to do so, you know. But I mean, he didn't know where I worked, so that wouldn't be. I mean,
Period.
to me,
Period.
right? Like that's
Period.
the way I see it for
I mean,
me. But
the
again,
first conversation on a date normally is, where do you work? What's your favorite color? What's your last name? Where did you grow up?
you know, you get to that. And I mean, and again, we've been interacting for months, like at least 3 months, maybe 2 months. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like there would have been more than enough time for us to get to that if we were dating.
Yeah. Well,
But again,
Merriam and Webster defines it as
bitch, this bitch went to that dictionary. I can't.
regularly spend time with someone you have a romantic relationship with. You fucked the bitch about 5 times, so
I mean, if we're gonna go by that, then he's correct. We were dating. We were spending time, interacting frequently.
And more than two is regular. More than two is regular.
I guess.
But yeah, so it just was like one, and then I said to myself, like the way that they approached it, I was like, this is why I, you know, and I didn't know why, because again, like I said, that he wanted to explore more, and I never really understood. I just knew that in my gut, it was just like, nah, I'm not feeling that, right? Like that's not what I'm getting, and I never knew why. You know, I think that exchange and that experience for me was like, oh, this is why, because this is childish. This is petty bullshit. And then even for the gentleman who said something to me was like, oh, well, you know, now I'm kind of seeing you differently. And I was like, why? I'm like confused. He's like, oh, well, because, you know, because I mean, you may be messing with other people and dating. I mean, like having sex with other people. And I was just like, well, here's the thing. The reality is, regardless, it doesn't matter whether I'm dating, whether I'm having sex with multiple people or not. If we want to explore something together, then I will honor what that situation is, right? And so, whether it's me fucking him, who's your ex, or me fucking somebody else, if I want to be fucking, I'm gonna fuck, right? That like, but that shouldn't have any bearing or any weight on if you and I, quote unquote, pursue something, you know, because of this. Like, no, like I am in nothing committed. I can fuck.
Sorry. Dating is almost like a commitment, a little bit, right? Like, depending on how you classify it. I feel like he said y'all were dating for it, there was intent behind that, using that language. That's
I
my
agree,
so
but that ain't got to do with me.
no, I know. But I could see where, so you're saying that the other guy was a little bit more reserved now that he found out y'all was like,
Right. What he was saying was because he knew someone that I was having relationship with, that, you know, he's now second guessing or looking at it again of like wanting to explore something with me. And so I just said, like, if that's your reasoning, cool. But understand that like it doesn't matter because we aren't dating, and if we start dating, then it would be you and I dating, and you know what I mean, and set the
And,
boundaries to what that looks like and what that is. So like,
and everyone has been with someone who someone they knew fucked. Like
yes, that's like
whether you know it or not. Like I'm pretty sure if I'm dating you and we all are in the same area, you didn't fuck somebody I didn't fuck somebody you didn't fucked. Like,
But
we're adults.
I still think that those are just ways of him trying to find out some shit. Like he's coming at it from that perspective because he
Like,
wants you to tell
okay.
him, "Oh, I'm not spoken with nobody. I'm not sleeping with nobody else," or "I was only sleeping with him and this person." Like he's trying to flip it on you to like find out more information. Like
yeah,
that's and I mean you're not stupid, so of course you're not gonna be like, "Well, me and this Tom, Dick, and Harry was sleeping." Like,
right.
dude, like if we're
That's
gonna
irrelevant.
pursue something, we're gonna pursue something. What I did in the past is what the fuck I did in the past. Like I could have slept, I could have fucked your brother. That was last week. Like
Well, you
we
could have
started,
fucked your
we started
father.
on Monday. So did I sleep with him this morning? No, I didn't. So I have a clean fucking slate. Like, but as the manipulator, as they call it on the test, bitch, he's just trying to find out some business. I've done it. I've done it before. It
He
do
was
work. It do work sometimes.
he
It
was
works.
fishing. He was fishing, chef.
He was fishing with no fucking bait. That
No
shit was
bait.
just the hook.
It
It
sounds
was
like
just
they
the
both
hook.
not over each other.
That's the other thing that I was like,
Yeah.
He's one jealous that his friend slept with Torrian before him. Number one, that's just on the surface. Number two is like, oh well,
I don't
what
know
was
about that.
going on with y'all? Because if we gonna have something, gotta be more than y'all had. Like, it's he just trying to find out some shit. I've done it. Like,
you know, and for me,
he
it's
should
just
have been
like,
more slick. He should have been gotten cool and found out from
But
his friend.
also, people don't be wanting they tea spill. You know, I don't want nobody knowing I nut early, child.
But he got the tea.
They be like,
That's his
they be
ex.
like, but he
That's his
done
ex,
it.
so he know the
He done it
tea.
in 5 minutes, kid.
not he,
You know
not he
what?
five.
Sometimes a quick coming means a second round gonna last.
Sometimes a good 10 minutes is all you need.
Like, sometimes you gotta get one out the way. Just get it out the
Get
way.
one out the way.
Get one out the way. Now we really in there. Now
Okay.
we really frying with some grease, child.
With some hot grease, okay? We're frying with some hot grease, okay?
Frying with fucking lard, bitch.
Crisco, hello. It's good for your elbows too.
Oh my god.
Oh my word.
But no, I like seeing, like going through that. I was just like, "Fuck!" One, this fucking world is so small. It is so small, especially the gay world. It's so, especially the black gay world. It is so small.
You need to date these discreet motherfuckers like I do, bitch. They'll never know. I done fuck
Nope.
I done fuck 2 cousins and they don't know, and they live together.
Get around. Like they get around. Because there's always that one cousin that tell the business, child.
No, it don't. No.
How you find out?
Discreet. What do you mean? How did I find out? I fucked both of them. What is that? What do you mean? I fucked both of them.
I fucked roommates before. I fucked roommates before.
If I told you the craziest, never mind. I ain't gonna put my business out there like that.
You mean more than what you already?
I fucked both of them.
Cousins is okay, but what about siblings, bitch?
I've never done that. No, I've never done that.
I'm not telling my tea tonight. We can go elsewhere. You get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it. I cannot.
I'll look at it on the iPod. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, like this was, and now I feel a way because now the friends with benefit is like trying to not fuck no more, and I feel a way about that.
Oh yeah, they like each other. They still got feelings for each other. And
so that's it. I'm like,
I don't like my
it can't be that. It could be now he's uncomfortable.
Already got the pussy.
No, but the thing about, okay, he's uncomfortable having his kink with Torrian because now his friend knows that works with Torrian. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
But guess what, Chef? That's your stupid ass motherfucking fault, you dumb cunt.
You shouldn't have said nothing.
You should like
Mind your
let me tell you
business.
something.
you know what it was? I think that he was blindsided because here it is, the friend posts Torian on his story, and it's like, what the fuck? I fuck him. Like,
That's
you know what I
fair.
mean? And he probably dug a
No, but
little
you
bit.
don't have
He probably didn't even tell.
No.
And I'm just saying, he could have not even told him
That's
that
what
he
I'm
fucked
saying.
Torian.
It's your
He could have just
fault.
been like, yo, I
Your
know him.
insecurities.
I know him, or whatever the
You don't
case
even have
is.
to say that, bitch. You know
Don't
how
say
many
nothing.
You know how many people I see in people's story, and I'll be like, oh shit. Now maybe I'll do my own investigation and go to their page and do my own.
Or maybe he thought that they fucked
silently.
too. Maybe
But
he thought they
but
fucked.
that's your insecurities. That's your insecurities.
Or I've also been in a situation where I'm like, I'll message him like, oh, so you know so and so too, and leave it at that.
But
Nope,
I'm just
I
saying,
wouldn't
maybe
even do
that's
that.
maybe he just said, maybe he just validated it, like, oh, I know him, and the friend came and dug and found
No.
out some shit
Y'all
digging.
bitches,
Like,
nope. Y'all bitches talk too much. Like, I can never rob a bank with y'all. I ain't
Now,
even.
bitch,
Y'all
I'm the
talk too much.
getaway card. You
It's funny,
Robert
I was talking about this shit today. I'm not doing anything illegal now.
I was
Rob a
about to
bank
say,
with you?
Are you
No.
sure?
Would I help you figure out how to hide the money after you rob the bank? Now that's different. That's when you call me, and don't call me in on the ground level. I don't want to come rob the goddamn
Make
bank.
sure you use the burner.
Call me after you done robbed the bank. You got this money. You like, Chef. How you going to call me then, bitch?
Wait a
Call me
week.
now.
Calm it down.
Wait a week.
But yeah, that was my crazy situation. I've some stuff has been happening in my life recently.
So
but I feel away.
Do you still want to hook up with the coworker, or?
I mean, that is still like,
So you feel slighted on all parts. It's like,
no. So it's not about that, because again, I still have reservations because again, how close we work too close together, and so there was already some reservations there. But yeah, so for me, I'm really like, damn.
Well, I'm here to tell you that this is the red flag that you needed. Red flag on the play, flag on the play. Stop, bitch. It could have been worse.
Agreed.
Now you dodged a bullet. Let's move on. Let's not pretend you ain't just dodged this bullet, bitch. We got to recognize these signs.
No, I'm with you when you're right. I am with you when you're right. But I am high key mad that like I feel a way about me not having my friend with benefits, like my fuck buddy, no longer.
And unfortunately, he was just a cause of.
He was an experience. That's it.
Not an experience, but what they call like chop it up to the game. Like he was just like a casualty. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you, Wordsmith. He was just a casualty. Unfortunately, you win some, you lose some.
And it's always better pussy out there, girl.
Telling you,
come my way then.
When you find good, it'd be hard to find it again. It'd be like,
and it's not. It's sometimes it's not just being good.
All the good pussy, like it's hard to find it again. It'd be like, God damn, they knew how to do it the right way. And everything.
And that's the thing. It's like you get in each other's rhythm. You understand how like what each other likes, how you like it, and just like you build on that. I think for me too, it's just like the biggest thing is that he was consistent.
When you mean consistent as far as performance?
Well, that too, but also like frequency. Like there was always a consistent. Like when I wanted some, he was with it. When they wanted some, he was with it. You know what I mean? Like it was never this. Oh, I'm busy, or I can't, or you know what I mean? Like it was never that until towards the end of it, where it would be like, oh, well, I can't. I'm busy, or I want more than just.
He caught
sex.
feelings.
I want more than just I don't want to just be a body, like that type of stuff. And I'm like, I get it, and he also was like, I can't really be mad because you were honest about what you wanted and what this was from the beginning,
right?
But I'm now in the stage where I want more, and I don't just want that. And I'm just like, fuck. This is what we talked about this a couple of episodes ago. Is when people catch feelings when you're having sex, and it's just supposed to just be about sex. But then feelings get wrapped up, and I hate it so much.
But I mean, you can't. I mean, good sex is gonna lead to feelings. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I
Good
don't.
Yeah,
sex, good
Good sex is gonna
conversation, good
lead.
company.
Yep, all that,
that's fair.
all
That's
that.
fair,
And
and
it's
that's why I'm
only
not
going to
mad.
happen
But
but for so long. It's only going to be
Hmm.
but for so long. And honestly, Torian, you should already know that shit's not going to last more than 3 to 6 months tops. Like most people
Be-
catch feelings, like it's
and I,
natural.
yeah,
that's why I just need to be.
and also
Honest.
that's because of your what you present as, right? Too. There's a shortage of, like we said, there's a shortage of like full tops out here, and Tori's a pass.
I
You a pass around, child. Pass the collection, please. Let me go.
wow. I want to be more than just a body.
No, you don't. You trying to find your right body. I think you have your selfishness in it, which you should, and a person should have their heart in it, which they should. It should be like, well,
Wait.
shit, it's not going right for me anymore. And you said what you
Yeah.
wanted from Jump Street, so I got to respect that. And shit, you're not going to change up what you want and how you feel. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
I mean, I honestly would have been open to it, but like I told y'all, like there was something that I was just like, and like we had some conversation. I don't want it to sound like it solely was like sex. It was majority was sex, but we had some, like, when he would come over, we would like chat a little bit. It wasn't like just get to it. And there were a couple times where it was just like, when you come to this door, baby, just get to
Yes,
it.
I love it. I love
But
it.
am I about to do this? So,
Do
like,
do it, Daddy, do it.
I'm learning that I actually love scents,
What does that mean?
like scent, smell,
Oh,
like
smell.
certain
Okay.
scents I love.
So the bitch had baby powder on.
No, like
Bitch better not been stink.
the smell of like sex, like the pheromones and like, all of that. And so like we were I'm about to go here. Wow. So like we were having sex, doing what we were doing. And so I had like, my thing was like, I love men in nice underwear, lingerie, like good pair of panties, as I call them. Like, I love it. And so he knew, like, if he coming over here, wear some cute panties, okay? Wear some cute for me. And so this one particular time he did, and I'm like, keep them on. Like, I'm just going to slide them over to the side. I'm going to do what I need to do, whatever have you, right? And so we got to the point where I took them off.
Panties as in women panties?
No, like lingerie, like,
As in women lingerie.
Yeah.
They have
men lingerie.
I know that. I have some.
Yeah, but lingerie. Yeah.
You just trying to build a picture. You're trying to build a picture.
Yeah, we don't call it like lingerie. We call it like jock straps or stuff like that.
So jock straps, but I also like I love the lace underwear. Like I love that's why I say panties, because I say panties to differentiate that. Like I'm not talking about your Calvin Klein,
boxer briefs.
Like I'm talking about lace, mesh, like sexy panties.
Okay.
And so, we were having sex or whatever, and we were done, and he picked up his underwear and he was like, oh, and threw them at me and was like, oh, you can keep this as a souvenir because I know you like. And I was just like, oh. And so every now and again, when I'm handling my own business, I take them every now and again.
Oh my God! You motherfucking lying! Like one hand on your dick and the other hand with the motherfucking underwear,
sniffing the panties,
and then I'll put them on my face, and then I'll use my other hand to get the poppers to. Oh, it's a whole ordeal. I can't believe I'm spilling all my tea on the damn podcast on this episode.
When you RSVP to a party, bitch, you're gonna come. Okay? Literally. Honey, I RSVP'd.
Literally. Okay. But yeah, like that's why I also am like, when people say like tops are boring, I'm like, what? Like, no, like, no, we're not. I mean, we can be, I suppose, but anybody can be bored. I've been
Anybody.
around with boring bottoms.
I
Like,
think it all has to be how comfortable you are with yourself, your sexuality, and just
yeah,
overall comfort. Like, and how
yeah,
comfortable
it
your
was.
partner makes you feel.
It's oh my god, yeah, it's nothing like somebody in some nice panties. Ooh, getting warm and fuzzy just
I
thinking about
love it.
it. But yeah, so that's my situation. I'm a little sad that you know,
Well,
but
Tori's looking for
whatever.
new pussy, y'all. So
And panties.
Pussy and panties.
no, you gonna have these motherfuckers trying to FedEx you their panties now, motherfucker.
I mean, I will go and open up a PO box.
They might have
If you
doodle
want to
streaks
send,
in it.
and I want to be clear about what like. What so like, for example, when I say smell, I love a musky smell, right? Like that sweaty, musky.
Ew.
Also, that like
Sweaty.
mixture of. No,
Ew.
the mixture of like
It's like
the
the sweat
juices,
and the lotion,
and the berries of like the lube and the saliva and like your
Ew.
inner juices and like the scent that the heat creates with those liquids from the friction of fucking, like all of that smell. Get them on some underwear and send them to me. Oh my god.
So the name of this
Oh my
episode is "Send Me Your Underwear." Send me your underwear.
that is kind of
No, like seriously, it is so
kind of grossed me
yeah.
out.
Really?
Just a little bit.
But ew.
Like it's like I don't.
I
I love
associate
that
like
shit.
I associate like smell and all that stuff with textures, and underwear is going to be crusty. It's going to be a little. I'm a little over it. No,
They're not crusty. Trust me.
See, I guess with me, I just don't like the funkiness, like the sweaty. Like, so now we all know what sweaty balls smell like.
okay, but I think there's a difference in sweaty balls that was sweating
Musty.
for an hour, or like
Musty.
and then there's like sweaty balls that then work 16 hours.
Or
Like
the sweaty from you literally smelled great coming into it, but because you had the underwear on and now
Yes.
the sweat from our bodies and the sex,
that's fine.
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about all of the juices and berries that presents themselves during a sexual encounter that is then absorbed in panties. That is what I'm talking about. Like, oh my god.
Okay, so don't wear your panties for 8 hours and all day and send them. That's not the panties that he wants.
Don't fart in your underwear and then send them to me.
I'm not saying that because again, I like musky. I love a very like even so. I have another. Wow, I'm really telling my business. So I have another pair of panties from someone that they.
To stop calling them panties, but go ahead.
I had to call them that because I want the distinction between so you understand. So and this person wore them like to the gym for like 3 days
straight,
and like 3 days throughout the week, but like he wore them and then he would take them off and then he would wear them again to the gym and then he would take them off and then he would wear them again to the gym. So he did that for 3 days in a week. And that kind of like that musky, it's not musty. It's a like a, you're clean, but you're sweating.
You can't be clean.
Baby, let me tell you something. Y'all toot your, listen.
But you didn't say him. You didn't say he washed them. You didn't say
no, he didn't wash them.
So
no, he's not washing them because the scent
back to back.
Yes, because you need to keep the scent inside. They need to be fermented. The scent needs to be fermented. The ass sweat. Yes, that's the other thing. Like the ass.
I'm fine with you. That's fine. Like that's what makes Torrian a top. That's what
and
makes Torrian the
sniffs
top
it.
and me a bottom. Because I don't want to smell no goddamn must. I don't want to smell that. That's not what I want to smell.
But like you said, Chef, there is a difference
But
in
there
the
is a difference. It's a
smells. There
difference
is a
in like
difference.
a light sweat and a hard sweat. Like,
I'm not talking about you ain't wear deodorant for a week and you're musty.
right,
Okay, like you've
right.
been running out playing football, sports outside all day and you're musty.
That's
That's
must.
not the scent I'm talking about. I don't want that. But
It's about that
a good
perfumey musk,
the
woodsy.
and I don't want to. I hate. Yes, yes. Thank you. The woodsy, the very like outdoorsy, like
Mhm.
that. I
When your
love
mother
that.
said you smell like outside.
You smell like outside.
That
That
raw, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
yes, thank you, Chef. Because I was about to go somewhere that people probably would have been like, "You fucking, you problematic ass." But yeah, so that's my that was my story time.
Mm.
I just told all my business on this
And
episode.
I love
Jesus
it. I love
Christ.
it. I love it. Because
The
I'm always
folks,
spilling my tea, bitch. Y'all
the
bitches,
folks are gonna be in my
they
DMs.
are. Oh, I can't wait till this one airs, bitch. Panties. Panties,
Oh my
panties,
God.
panties.
Oh, y'all,
Well, let me see, girl.
y'all don't understand. That does something to my
What if they
something
got
to
doodle
my
marks in it?
soul, huh?
Do you care if they got doodle marks in it?
I'm not. I can't confirm or deny.
Oh, you shit play. Okay.
Well, we already talked about this
Well, I think
2
we
seasons
did.
ago,
No, I
where
think
I'm
it
like,
was this season, actually. Mhm.
but we also remember shit happens. Where I
Oh
talked
yeah.
about,
But you
I
said shit in the presence of sex doesn't really. You ain't say you save it as a souvenir.
no, I'm not. I don't save it at. I mean, I'm. I'm not like shit in some underwear and send them to me. Bitch. No,
I think you're dragging it and you're just making it
right.
like it's becoming so
He,
disgusting.
thank you,
Fuck
Like
Chef.
you, bitch.
dragging,
Log off, bitch. Log off.
dragging.
Log off.
It's like the conversation went to
Log
shit.
off.
Okay, went to shit. Literally.
First of all, I got questions. As an interviewer, I got questions, bitch. Okay?
Oh
Right?
my
Because
gosh.
guess what? These motherfuckers gonna be in the DMs asking us. And I'm like,
They
I don't know, bitch.
If there's shit in your underwear, that means you went and took a shit and didn't clean properly.
But
If
some
that's
yes,
why
people
there's
like
shit in your
that. Some
underwear,
people like that.
you're not.
there's some people who do like that.
There's some
You
people
know
that
Like,
like
what?
that. That's why I'm asking.
You're right.
but I'm also that
I'm
like
about to
I
log
am
out.
also so this may sound a little, but I don't care. Like I'm already throwing it out there. So even when like when someone uses the bathroom but they don't wipe, not saying that they like have literally like shit on them, but like sometimes the smell or like that kind of like, especially once it mixed with sweat. Look at Chef's face.
I'm like, wait, this shit really went to shit for real. I need to go. I got to go. Like they ain't wash their fucking hands. Is what you're trying to say? Like, come on now. Y'all be painting pictures, and I'm like a very imaginative person. So when I'm quiet over here and I'm just like reserved, it's because I'm like imagining this shit and I'm absorbing your story. And it's gone to shit. Like, who is going to the bathroom wiping their ass and not washing their hands and is mixing with their sweat?
You even let
That's
him
how
finish
you
his
get pink
story.
eye. That's how you get pink eye.
No, you know how when you're walking and your ass sweat, especially if you have a nice ass and it's a hot day or whatever, like, you start getting a little sweat in between your cheeks, right? And so that smell that gets on the underwear, like that kind of musky, woodsy kind of a smell. And I'm going to say this, and I promise you this is not any indication of what I like in a person, more of like just describing the scent in this way. It's like a masculine scent, right? That like a very woodsy,
Yeah.
very earthy, very like not the like the sweet and like not that smell, but like that that gritty,
That man,
like
it's men. It's
that
like when you
kind
tell
of
me
scent for
woodsy,
me.
musty. I see a nigga in the
Right.
backyard chopping wood, building up a sweat, and you came in here, your whole front of your t-shirt is wet, and we get down with the get
Yes.
down. I know where you are. I'm
Yes.
in the woods.
That's that
I'm
smell. That smell right there, baby. Let me tell you something. That smell will get me every time. And that is regardless of where the scent is coming from. Okay. You can be masculine, you can be feminine, you can be tall, short. I don't care. Okay, let me be clear. I just want to throw that out there for people be sliding up in my DMs or going to, our Instagram, going to fuck off like, oh, Torrian is just toxic masculinity and all this other stuff. Like, it is not about that. I'm just saying the best way that I can describe the smell, the scent that I like is that masculine, woodsy, earthy kind of a smell, and not the sweet and like, soft kind of like, the smell that, yeah, I prefer the musky. And I say musky, I use that intentionally, but sometimes you
But
have to like explain what that really
musk is a
means.
smell, and I hope like that's a smell. Musk, that's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a scent
Not
profile.
musty.
Not
Not
not musty.
Musk with a K.
the
I
Musk
got
with a
K,
K.
not the
Yeah,
T. K, not the T.
and it's very
Well,
and
all
it's very
right.
much a woodsy, very like smells handsome.
I get it. All
Like,
right. All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
So if you want to send Torrian your underwear,
Let me go get this PO box first.
get the PO
Let me go
box,
to
but
the-
leave us a message first and let us know that you're sending it. 971-410-7111. Thanks for tuning in to Catch My Black and Gay podcast. Follow us on all social media platforms at Catch My Black and Gay.
bitch.